President Biden warns of what he says is a threat to American democracy. Details of his fiery speech in Philadelphia and the GOP response. Plus, researchers in the UK are beginning trials for a monkeypox vaccine as cases continue to rise across the globe. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. President Joe Biden addressed the nation from Pennsylvania last night in a speech focusing on what he calls the battle for the soul of the nation. Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
In a fiery primetime speech from Philadelphia, President Biden warned of what he says is a real threat to American democracy.
I ran for president because I believe we're in a battle for the soul of this nation. I still believe that to be true.
The president called out former President Trump by name Thursday night and accused Trump's supporters of extremism.
MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. They refuse to accept the results of a free election.
While President Biden said not all Republicans fall into this category, GOP leaders called the president's remarks divisive. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, speaking from President Biden's hometown of Scranton earlier Thursday, also took aim at the president's handling of the economy.
Fact, real income. What you take home after inflation and taxes is lower now than when Joe Biden took office.
The dueling speeches in a key battleground state come a little more than 2 months from midterm elections, with Labor Day weekend kicking off the final sprint to November.
Joe Biden is right. Democracy is on the ballot in November.
As your president, I will defend our democracy with every fiber of my being, and I'm asking every American to join me.
A new CBS News poll finds 72% of Americans believe democracy is under threat, a figure that has remained high since Trump supporters stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Topping the list of reasons why, influence of money in politics, and also the potential for political violence, which concerns most Americans across party lines. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And the former president is traveling to Pennsylvania this weekend for his first rally of the general election. President Biden will be in Pittsburgh and Wisconsin on Labor Day. A U.S. judge released a detailed inventory of the search of Donald Trump's Florida home by the FBI last month. The document had been sealed since it was filed by the Justice Department. The list shows classified documents were stored with newspapers and magazines, as well as clothing and gifts. A status report of the investigative team's review of the evidence was also made public. The DOJ wrote in its report that items taken from Mar-a-Lago will be used in its investigation. A judge has thrown out a lawsuit a former Trump campaign advisor had brought against the Justice Department and the FBI. Carter Page was under surveillance for about a year around the 2016 campaign. He had known ties to Russian spies and has worked for a Kremlin-controlled energy company. The DOJ inspector says the process to obtain the related warrants was bungled, and 2 of the 4 warrants granted have since been declared invalid. But the judge who threw out the case said Page was suing the wrong people instead of those who conducted the surveillance. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has a look at your holiday weekend forecast. A little cloudy out there today, but
yeah, a little cloud. It actually helped. It's going to help keep the temperatures a little bit cooler than what we could have been, considering with the cloud cover. Yeah, if you look outside right now, it's 77. We do have those thin clouds, basically mid and upper level clouds, but there are some showers up to the north. I'll show that in a bit. Dew points up to 64. So overall, there's a little bit of disturbance that's moved through overnight, produced some light rain, generally under 1/4 of an inch as it's pushed northeast, but it's still producing some showers, mainly north-northwest of Madison right now. You can see they're starting to dissipate, but a shower or 2 this morning, at least north of that area, is possible. Then we should start clearing out. Temperatures right now, mid-70s. The cloud cover has helped to cool down. Further northwest, you can see they're all the way up to 81, 82. Zooming in, pretty much uniform right around the mid to upper 70s. So we're looking ahead today. Less cloud cover this afternoon. Like I said, a shower or 2 mainly north of Madison. And then we'll give you more details on what to expect with the thunderstorms coming late tonight or like early, and actually Saturday looks kind of busy too.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on things. We'll check back in a few minutes, Greg. Thank you. The man accused of killing his step-grandfather with an axe has been found guilty for all 5 charges he faces. 38-year-old Thomas Aspsetter of Sparta was arrested last summer after killing 87-year-old Bernard Waite and attacking 2 others. During Aspsetter's testimony on Wednesday, he says Waite punched him in the face leading up to the attack. Though the sentence carries a life the sentence carries a life sentence, there is a possibility the judge could grant parole at a later time. A lawyer for a 14-year-old Chippewa Falls boy accused of killing a 10-year-old girl will seek to have the case moved from adult to juvenile court. The boy, who still has not been identified, is accused of sexually assaulting and killing Ileana Peters. Anyone accused of first or second-degree homicide over the age of 10 is considered an adult in Wisconsin's court system. The teen told investigators he was riding a hoverboard alongside the girl as she rode her bike to her parents' house, and he intended to sexually assault and kill her. The Department of Justice has charged a Racine County man with election fraud. 68-year-old Harry Waite of Union Grove is charged with 2 counts of election fraud and 2 counts of unauthorized use of an individual's personal information. Waite requested absentee ballots for Assembly Speaker Robin Voss, Racine Mayor Corey Mason, and others. He admitted to doing so in an effort to show the flaws in the state's ballot request process. Researchers in the UK are testing a treatment that they hope will help people suffering from monkeypox. Tecovirimat was initially developed for smallpox, but is currently being used for extreme monkeypox cases. Now, researchers at Oxford University are recruiting 500 patients with monkeypox to see if the drug will speed up recovery while also stopping the virus from spreading.
I think now the priority has to be what we call elimination as opposed to eradication, which is not completely getting rid of it, but eliminating it as a public health threat.
If the test goes well, the drug could be rolled out as early as 6 months. In the U.S., nearly 20,000 people have caught monkeypox, affecting people in all 50 states. The number of people getting COVID has been falling for more than a month. That's according to Johns Hopkins University. As for people getting hospitalized with COVID, according to the Department of Health and Human Services, the numbers are dropping slowly, but they're still more than twice as high as they were 4 months ago. Meanwhile, in Jackson, Mississippi, people are still desperately waiting for clean water. It's day 5 of a growing crisis that's forced schools and businesses to close. Residents are now being told to shower with their mouths closed because the current water is not safe. Heavy rainfall and flooding last week placed a strain on the aging system, exacerbating long-standing issues with the city's infrastructure.
We've got failing pumps, so that's the mechanism that actually pumps the water out of the reservoir, which is where we get our water from, and puts it out to customers. The other is the treatment mechanism. So, if the water's not treated, we can't push it out.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves says the focus in the short term is distributing as much water as possible to residents in need. Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon, including fans of Ruth Bader Ginsburg getting a chance to own some of the late Justice's personal belongings. The Money Watch report is next.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Ashley's Labor Day sale is happening now. Save up to $1,000 on Serta, up to $800 on Purple, and up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, plus special financing for 60 months and fast delivery. The Labor Day sale is happening now, only at Ashley.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh local Medicare. Hey, Joe, are you behind this whole check your zip code deal on national TV for extra Medicare benefits?
I don't know. Check your zip code.
Why would I check my zip code?
Because you're in it.
So we get a lot of calls about that guy. It's sad because your local Medicare plans already have those bells and whistles Joe promises.
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
This weekend during Steinhoffel's Labor Day sale, save 35 to 60% store-wide. Then take an extra $100 off your purchase of $22.99. And when you spend $49.99 or more, you'll get a Meta Quest 2 VR headset. With Steinhoffel's special financing, your furniture and mattresses just got more affordable. It's Steinhoffel's Labor Day sale. Shop now in-store and online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffel's.
I worked really hard to save for retirement, worked all the hours I could, whatever it took. But Ron Johnson thinks we should consider raising the retirement age for Social Security and Medicare. That's a terrible idea. And he voted over and over again to weaken and cut Medicare, driving up our costs. Ron Johnson even wanted to privatize Social Security, calling it a legal Ponzi scheme. Tell Ron Johnson to strengthen Medicare.
Change it up and choose Dutch Boy from Menards. Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints at the best prices. Pick out the perfect color. We offer free custom color matching and tinting to create thousands of color options. And with Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, and no prep, no prime formula, transforming your home has never been easier. Save 11% on all Dutch Boy paints now at Menards.
Aleve-X. Its revolutionary rollerball design delivers fast, powerful, long-lasting pain relief. Aleve it and see what's possible.
Ashley's Labor Day sale is happening right now. Save up to 78% off clearance items, plus fast delivery on millions of in-stock products, and low monthly payments with special financing. It's the Labor Day sale, and it's happening now, only at Ashley.
Off-duty airline pilots calling for better working conditions and benefits picketed at major airports across the country yesterday. Frustrated by a recent jump in flight delays and cancellations, the union representing pilots held what it called informational pickets at about a dozen airports. At the same time, the Department of Transportation is finalizing new regulations, including refunds, to help passengers experiencing long delays or substantial schedule changes. If you want to change a tweet without deleting it, Twitter says help is on the way. After years of requests from users, the social media company says it's internally testing an edit button. In a blog post, Twitter says in the coming weeks, the button will be available to Twitter Blue subscribers who pay for monthly access to certain premium features. Tweets will be available for edit a few times within 30 minutes after it's been published. Edited tweets will have an icon, timestamp, and label. An edit history will also be visible to other users. And if you're among Ruth Bader Ginsburg's many fans, you're about to get a chance to bid on more than 100 personal items belonging to the late Supreme Court Justice. The Bonhams online auction is set to begin Wednesday and run through September 16th. Proceeds will benefit SOS Children's Villages, an Austria-based international humanitarian organization. Bonham says 2 of RBG's trademark collars, including this beaded one, are expected to sell for several $1,000s apiece. That's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Bradley Blackburn.
Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 37 points. The NASDAQ down 37. The S&P 500 up 21. A new government report shows the job market remains strong and more people are looking for work. The Labor Department says the economy added 315,000 jobs in August, less than previous months, but a strong number historically. The unemployment rate actually rose to 3.7%. That's because more Americans are now entering the job market.
It could be someone who retired during the pandemic and now is unretiring. It could be someone who didn't feel that it was safe to venture out in public to get a job previously because of COVID, feels a little more safety now.
The latest government data shows there are 11.2 million job openings. Experts say the strong job market shows the economy is not nearing a recession, even though overall economic growth is slowing and inflation remains high. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You're taking a live look at the Call for Action studio. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can call for action right now, 608-270-2833, or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Pam has today's egg prices next, along with Greg's weekend forecast. And then today on Live at 4, we're only one day away from the start of Wisconsin Badger football. Molly Brown from ESPN Madison joins us to preview the upcoming season.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
My wife and I worked hard for decades. We thought our retirement was secure.
But inflation is changing everything. Gas, groceries. It's hard for retirees on fixed incomes. But I'm even more worried about the debt we're leaving our grandchildren.
Senator Ron Johnson understands we must get spending under control.
And he's working to stop the waste in Washington.
Tell Senator Johnson to keep fighting for Wisconsin seniors and the next generation.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient, full-line automaker. Hurry into a local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Back to school is not what it used to be.
There are new safety concerns, new protocols, and lots of questions.
We can help you navigate some of those hurdles with our Back to School series.
Join us every morning starting at 6:30 a.m. only on News 3 Now this morning.
Do you remember me?
This is the first day of my show. I hope my fans feel on top of the world by the time they leave the Jennifer Hudson show.
Jennifer Hudson, weekdays at 3, starting September 12th. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report as we made it to Friday.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, and we're heading into a 3-day weekend. Remember, that means markets will be idle on Monday. Kind of a breaking news item that we just received from the Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection. They have confirmed a new case of highly pathogenic avian influenza in Washington County. It's a backyard flock that is being depopulated, but it does also kind of raise awareness that with the migratory birds heading back south, that we could run the risk of highly pathogenic avian influenza. In fact, Minnesota had a detection this week, as well as Indiana, and so the poultry industry is back on high alert to make sure that they're protecting their birds from any contact with the wild bird population. The virus can also be transmitted through equipment or clothing that's worn by anybody that's around the animals. If you've got animals that are starting to show signs, please contact the Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection. And poultry owners are also being reminded that you need to register your premise with the Wisconsin Livestock Identification Consortium. That's WIID.org. Doesn't cost you anything, but it is part of the way that the Department of Ag keeps track of incidents like this and try to help everybody operate safely. So again, if you haven't registered where your birds are kept, get online and do that. WIID.org. Dairy markets today in Chicago, pretty robust as we go into a 3-day weekend. Barrel cheese finished up 3/4 cent at 185 3/4. 40-pound block cheese was up 3 at 176 1/2. The AA butter even up 3/4 cent on a Friday to $3.10 a pound. So like I said, suddenly got to try to be aware and mindful of any of your birds that are outside. They were kind of hoping that maybe we weren't going to have avian influenza incidents this fall into the winter mark. Obviously, this kind of puts it back in focus for the turkey population that we were going to be depending on for the holidays. But as of right now, plenty of supplies still out there.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy 3 days off.
See you on Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday. It is September, which means it's National Preparedness Month. In 2021, the Red Cross says more than 40% of Americans were living in a county struck by a disaster. Mandy Gaither tells us that's why the organization is urging everyone to make a safety plan now.
Deadly flooding, fast-moving wildfires, and heat waves across the U.S. The past year, millions of Americans have been affected by climate-related disasters.
It can happen to anybody at any time, which makes preparedness all that more important.
The Red Cross says being prepared starts with having a plan.
To know if something does happen, where can you turn for help? What should you do if an evacuation order is issued? And how are you going to get the most up-to-date information?
Have a safety kit. Put necessities in there like bottled water, non-perishable foods, a first aid kit, blankets and ponchos, a flashlight, and things to keep children engaged during a disaster. Have 3 ways to receive warnings and emergency information. That can be apps on your phone and a battery-operated weather radio.
Having the ability to get those warnings as quickly as possible and as many different variations of ways to get those warnings is going to be really pivotal.
Families should involve children in the planning so that if there's an emergency, they'll know what to expect.
Talk to them about and let them hear the sound of a fire alarm. Let them know what the sound is going to be like if an emergency alert system goes off on your phone.
Being prepared starts now before an emergency strikes. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Red Cross says to help your community be ready for an emergency, consider volunteering, donating blood, or learning life-saving skills. You can learn a lot more at redcross.org. Let's check back with Greg now for a complete look at the weekend forecast. No real disasters looming our way.
Not really. I mean, it is hurricane season, so obviously for the southeast, that is an issue, and that could be an issue for otherwise. But no, big picture-wise, really what we're seeing, you can kind of see this is an upper level. This is the Met set showing all the flow coming up over the west. You got a ridge out here. We've already talked about the excessive heat, 123 in Death Valley. That's really pushing all the systems up to the north, and then they come back down. And then if we zoom in, I'm going to focus on 2 little areas. One area that's going to be affecting us. This is the cold front that's eventually going to be coming through tomorrow. That's what we're looked at, and then kind of focused up on this ridge. You can see those colors mean really drier air moving up. So it's really been dry, and the storm track's heading to the north and diving south. So we have something coming that's going to cool us down for the time being. As we zoom in here, further in, you can see there's your cold front to the north. This little disturbance had created some showers, a few thunderstorms. It's starting to weaken as it pushes north, and then obviously the deeper moistures to the south. But that's the feature we're going to be watching as we come through the next 24 to 36 hours. Temperature-wise, already we're all in the mid-80s, and then obviously it's already starting to heat up out west. It's a prolonged heat event, already 95 early in the afternoon for Phoenix. Futurecast. Wide view of it shows here's the front coming through. This is 11:30 p.m., kind of after the football games are all over. Here's your line that's starting to develop with the cold front that is pushing eastward. Now, how this develops later on tomorrow morning is a little bit under question if we're going to see a line come through in the morning or is it going to fall apart. But this is one idea. By Saturday noon, looks like most of the activity falls apart, and then we see a little bit development, but the better shot's going to be into Illinois. As we zoom in further and closer, we'll see that continue on and further on through Sunday, Monday, and fewer clouds continue. So as we look at zoomer close of it, we see it. We're looking at mid-80s, winds pushing up from the south. Here comes that front once again. Timing this out, once again, it's 2:30 in the morning, approaching the area. By noon, it's probably going to eventually push out. So this is the thing that we're going to keep an eye on. Once again, a little bit uncertain with the timing, but that is something we're going to keep an eye on. Otherwise, we're looking at temperatures cooling off to the mid-70s by Sunday and Sunday and Monday. Labor Day looks fantastic. Then we'll warm back up to the low to mid-80s next week. But we got to get through tomorrow, so it is a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. We'll just have to keep track of that, Mark.
And the Badger game's kickoff is 6 o'clock.
Yes, and that actually looks more favorable than actually earlier in the day.
Okay.
So.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Greg. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today, we're making homemade ravioli that's stuffed with all sorts of creamy goodness. That doesn't sound like something you want to miss, does it?
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's Labor Day preview sale is going on now. Save up to 40% off clearance and special buy appliances. Plus pay no interest for 36 months. And guaranteed 5-day delivery on in-stock items. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley, off the Beltline and East Springs Drive.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces. Generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
In 1983, Senator Johnson's daughter was born with a serious heart defect. Dedicated doctors and nurses saved her life. Family became the most important thing in his life, and it still is. He has always enjoyed the simple things in life: the outdoors, fishing, hiking, camping, cross-country skiing, Packer and Badger games, rec league softball, and playing guitar. And did I mention fishing? As a U.S. Senator, he fought to secure tax cuts for 95% of American Main Street businesses so they could stay competitive with the big guys and survive the pandemic. His right to try law has given terminal patients freedom and hope and saved many lives. And his Joseph Project has transformed lives by helping people get good paying jobs and be proud of earning their own success. Senator Johnson went to Washington for all the right reasons. I should know because I am that daughter, and I've been watching my dad help others for 39 years.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
During Toyota's national sales event, we're working hard to deliver new Toyotas so you can enjoy the last of summer. From hitting the rapids with a RAV4 hybrid, to kicking up sand in a Tundra, or camping out in a Highlander. Hey guys!
Get 1.9% APR for 48 months on a new 2022 Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places. Ashley's Labor Day sale is happening right now. Save up to 78% off clearance items, plus fast delivery on millions of in-stock products, and low monthly payments with special financing. It's the Labor Day sale, and it's happening now, only at Ashley.
Today, we're making one of my favorites, homemade ravioli. And while there are tons of great pre-made options at the market, both refrigerated and frozen, it's hard to find ones that are stuffed with anything other than meat or cheese. But what if I told you that today we're stuffing them with crab? Oh yeah, these are gonna be amazing. First, we'll make a filling by combining some ricotta cheese and cream cheese, some crab meat, and that can be the real thing or imitation, a little Parmesan, some chopped parsley, scallions, and a bit of salt and pepper. Next, we assemble our ravioli. Now, instead of making pasta from scratch, we're using wonton skins, which we can find in the produce section. We put a spoonful of our filling in the center of each square, moisten the edges with a bit of water, and fold the corners over, making a triangle. Then we boil them till they're tender, just like we would with store-bought ravioli. Serve them up with your favorite sauce, and you're good to go. Not only are these perfect for dinner, but you can serve them as an appetizer, too. Either way, I hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our homemade crab ravioli so you can wow everyone with something that looks super fancy, yet is super easy. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a restaurant-worthy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And here's Greg with one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we still have a few showers out there, mainly north of Madison right now as it's pushing through to the north. Most of the other stuff is dissipated, so most of the areas will start to see decreasing clouds this afternoon, and actual temperatures will probably come back up to about the low to mid 80s, and that actually temperature will probably be more towards the evening hour than actually the afternoon hour, given the cloud cover. Otherwise tonight, showers and thunderstorms late tonight, more tomorrow morning, low only dropping in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, once again, scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll time this out better as we go through the day today. Otherwise, we're looking at a good night for football, but then we'll see much more comfortable conditions coming this Labor Day and then through next week. We just got to get through tomorrow there, Mark.
All right, it's looking good. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.